Good evening, junkies. Welcome to EminiJunkie.com, your ES Trading Mentor's free trading video for Thursday, June 17th, 2010. Today we had a total of 8 executable trade signals for a max potential of 29 ES ticks. This video is for educational purposes only, is intended to highlight our high probability trade setups to give you a feel for the quantity of trades taken each trading day using this approach. A full trading plan and daily live trading room can be accessed at our website at EminiJunkie.com. Okay, this morning before we opened at 8:30 we had that news announcement come out, and you can see they made a quick pop down, quick pop up, and then ultimately traded down through our moving average. That actually set up a real nice pre-market gap trade, which produced targets 1 and targets 2 for the pre-market half gap, the way we trade it, for 8 ticks to the downside. You can see we moved down basically within 1 tick of where that previous day's close was. Found some support there before the open and bounced up and ultimately opened up at 11.13. I believe it was, yeah, around 11.13, plus or minus a tick or so there. But anyway, after the open, the market immediately went down, filled its half gap, and filled its full gap. And in the process, right after it filled its half gap, gave us an trade to the downside, pulled back. Now, this is a hard trade to get because the way that this sets up, we were looking for a fill at 11.50. And the market traded several times there, but as you know, when trading, to get filled on the touch, it's a first come, first serve when you have a limit order. So very tough trade to get. There were some orders filled there, and it is a target that was touched, filled, and I'm going to count it as a T2 plus 7, but very, very difficult trade to get because the market just traded there, and you would have had to have your entry in quite early on that particular trade. But the market continued to trade down, found a little bit of support there at the pivot, kind of slowed it down a little bit, popped its head up above the moving average, didn't give a signal entry, came back down through the pivot, and we did get an opportunity to take a real nice swing signal short that produced targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside for 16 ticks. And this is when the trade really took off, and there was some folks in the room that were able to trail this, but 16 ticks was all that was in that trade. Went down to our Globex low, found a quick little bounce off that, and you can see it kind of traded sideways before ultimately coming down into our previous day's low. Again, that held it up briefly, and then it poked its head down through. Now we ended up with a little bit of chop down here once we started messing around with this previous day's low. You can see there was some back and forth price action, and in fact, right there at the 10:45 confirmation time, the market started moving higher. We actually got a signal to get long. It produced the first contract, but ultimately ended up getting stopped out. Now this is a real interesting price action here. We had a quick move to the downside. This was a fake out. Now as far as our signals, it doesn't know. It can't read the speed of that price action. So our signal, we're going to show this as a T0 minus 14. That was a very quick move. We were actually being very cautious with that move in the room. And then the subsequent move to the upside, that was the trade to get on, and that did give us a signal entry, and that produced targets 1 and targets 2 for 9 ticks going into the lunchtime dead zone. And then ultimately we just had to kind of sit on our hands between 11:30 and 1:15 as we waited for lunch to get over. We do not trade during this time. This area on the chart you see here red, that's kind of a no trading time. But coming out of lunch, we got a signal to get long. That produced targets 1 and targets 2 as we came through our moving average there for 7 ticks as the market started trading higher. Now this next little setup, this is just you know, one of those unfortunate things that happens with trading. We use a very tight stop mechanism, and sometimes you get stopped out of a position only to watch it go work. So we had a setup, we had a signal entry to get short, and believe it or not, just this move from here down to here, it was enough to take off the position, the first contract, and we adjust our stops accordingly. Ended up getting stopped out to the tick. You know, it happens, and you hear me say it on this video quite a bit. So I'm going to show this as a T1 minus 2 because you did get stopped to the tick right here, only to see this trade ultimately go on and work. So, you know, it's tough to watch those sometimes, but that's the way trading goes, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it. So at the end of the day, we ended up with 8 trades for 29 ES ticks. Thanks for watching. For more details on this plan, including all the chart setups, or to join our live trading room, our video newsletter, please visit EminiJunkie.com or simply click the link at the top of the screen. Thanks, and make it a great day.